In this video, I'm going to explain why we rent out semi-automatics, not automatics. At the moment on the Tigit site, if you want an automatic bike, you can't book one. And there's a very good reason for that. First of all, this is a Honda Airblade. It's an auto. This is a Honda Blade, nearly the same name, but it's a semi-auto, completely different motorbike. Okay, so let's get into the reasons we use for semi-auto. So the first thing is, what I love about teaching people on semi-automatics is they are much, much lighter than automatics. The second thing is, they have gears, but no clutch. And you can drive them in any gear at any speed. So what you can do is put it up to gear 3 or 4 that's designed for going fast, has a very low top speed. But what it means is the acceleration is extremely gentle. So I'll put this into gear 3 and I can be pretty haphazard with my throttle hand and the bike's not going to run away. So the old whiskey throttle, where new drivers panic, they pull the throttle back, the automatic runs away with you very fast. The semi-automatic, very controllable. If you really have a poor whiskey throttle hand, you can even go into gear 4. And as you get more and more experience with the bike, your throttle control gets better, you can start to use the gears properly. Let's quickly compare that acceleration that we just saw to what happens on an automatic. Now this is an old automatic, it's 110cc as well. So if you had a 125 modern one, they fire away pretty quick. Watch my hand. So if you panic, you pull the throttle down, the bike is going to run away with you very fast. They're also quite heavy. Okay, let's move on to reason number 2. Automatics are quite bulky with their plastic. If you crash them, they're quite expensive to fix, relatively. All of these Hondas are pretty cheap to fix, but these are much, much more expensive than the semi-automatic. If we look at the plastic here, it's kind of thin, it's almost like dirt bike plastic. It bends, it folds, it takes a lot to crack one of these. And even if you do, it's unbelievably cheap to replace the plastics on these bikes. Not so cheap on these ones. The third reason we use semi-automatics over automatics is reliability. The semi-automatic is the most simple motorbike type in the entire world. The famous Honda Cub that Honda made never breaks down. These are basically new versions of those. They are amazing. And even if they do, they're the quickest and the cheapest motorbike to fix. Automatics, on the other hand, are relatively complicated. There's quite a lot of stuff to go wrong on them, and if they do break down, it's a lot more expensive to fix. I will give you 2 simple big differences on the bikes in terms of reliability. Semi-automatic, Kickstart, basically inbuilt into the bike. So if your electrics fail, super simple to just kick it, right? And I tell you, running this company, electrical issues are the main reason for motorbikes failing. Just like that, who needs a battery? If we have an electrical issue on our auto, well, we have a problem. The first thing is a lot of automatics have no kick at all. This one does, but they're very hard to use. You got to be on the main stand, you got to be at the back, and there's a little lever here that you can kick. Good luck making that work. So one silly electrical problem, and now my bike doesn't work. Okay, so the next major sort of mechanical based difference is the belt versus the chain. So inside an auto is a belt, and it's buried in here. Quite a lot of screws to open and take it off. Mechanics don't check belts. There's just too much work involved. They should do, but they don't. So your belt can snap on you at any time, and then you need to get the right belt for the right bike, and that can be quite hard on some remote mountain road. Mechanics can check them, probably takes them about 5 to 10 minutes, but they don't do it. If we look at a semi-automatic, well, we got our own chain and sprocket, old school. We actually take off the chain and sprocket guards that come with these bikes. So mechanics can't miss, whether it's our mechanics or mechanics on the street, Honda mechanics on the road, they can't miss if the chain and sprocket's old or falling off. They just can't. And then it's so cheap and quick to fix it. No big deal. When you consider the weight, the control of the throttle, the reliability, easier and cheaper to fix in a crash, these are all reasons why you want a semi over an auto. A lot of people think they should be on automatics. It's so wrong. Do not come to this country as a new rider and get an auto. Big mistake, a dangerous one as well. Please get a semi if you're very new, whether it's from us or another company, semi-automatic.